Hello, Cancer. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan, illustrated by Mark Evans. Website at the bottom is llewellyn.com. Feel free to freeze frame and check that out if you'd like to. Supportive Oracle cards, Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards by Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen Raish Baskin. On the back here is the websites. ToriHartman.com, WatkinsPublishing.co.uk, or WatkinsPublishing.com. Feel free to check out whatever you would like to check out, of course, if you would like to check out. Cancer. What do we have for Cancer? What is this roller coaster? What is going on? It's like a roller coaster. It really is. The current situation, I feel like it's good, or has been good. I feel like you've had a very impactful effect to help the situation make sense. Now, when I see this Three of Pentacles, you might be literally just talking with people and just trying to keep people getting along and kind of like, we don't have to be ripping each other's faces off. Let's just work through this. Or, you know what I mean? Trying to like, all right, this has to be addressed. That needs to be talked out. Cancer is very helpful, though. You might have been doing some of the dirty work. When I say dirty work, it's just like the stuff nobody wants to do. And you're like, well, it has to get done, and I'll just do it. Because I feel like if I go do that stuff, it's almost like instead of dealing with a couple people, I'd rather go clean up the dog mess. Because it's like, it's gross, but it's easier than dealing with some of the other things going on here. It might be one of those things. You've done a lot of work. So for some of you, I feel like that might be what you've done. Kind of like, oh, that's a dirty job. But, when I'm done with that dirty job, I'll know it's done right, and I don't have to deal with this one or that one. I'll take it. I'll take it. I can relate to that. I've done that. Kind of like do the job that nobody wants, or deal with the people who are really stressful. I'll do the job that nobody wants, because nobody will bother me. Nobody wants to help me with that, so I'll be left alone, and that'll be done, and people will be happy with me because that got done, so it works better. When the situation's that bad where you'd rather clean up the dog mess than actually deal with somebody, I feel like that says a lot. Because somebody's really difficult here. Somebody is really difficult, and they enjoy being difficult. Somebody is very difficult, and they enjoy being difficult. Can we get like any clarity on that? It's a general read. Take it with a grain of salt, of course. I do get that they enjoy being difficult, though. Might be like one of those power play things. You know how that goes. They feel like they have every right to make people pay for what they've done. Somebody's really difficult. And it's one of those weird situations where it's like they're not wrong, but they're not really right. It's kind of like whatever they're mad about, it's like, yeah, I can see why they're mad about that, but they're taking it a little far. One of those things, if you follow me. They're stressed. They're having a difficult time with the situation. It's one of those people kind of like, if I'm not happy, nobody's going to be happy. One of those situations. I feel like that's where it's going a little far. Kind of like they're not just taking it out on the person they're upset with. They're taking it out on anybody they can get their hands on. It's one of those. I feel like that's where that is. You're making quick moves to make things work out better. Things are going better. Things are improving. There's a lot of moving pieces here. Things are all over the place, but it's kind of like, if I can just make myself useful and pick up some messes, this person, whoever this is, I feel like they like to target you sometimes. Take that with a grain. I do feel like they like to target you sometimes, but if you're doing jobs that they don't want to do, I also feel like they will leave you alone, because they're like, I'd rather that get done So if cancer's doing that and they're getting it out of my way, I'll leave them alone. But they usually do like targeting you. But if you're doing something and they're like, well, if if they come over and bother you, they're going to have to help you. They kind of feel that way, something like that. Or if they come over and bother you, you might not do it. And they don't like that either. So I feel like when you're doing things they don't want to do, they leave you alone, which is, I feel like, another reason you're doing those things. Kind of like, I'd rather pick up the dog mess than deal with this person. And if I go pick up the dog mess, they don't want to have anything to do with it. So they'll leave me alone. And they do. I feel like they do. I keep getting that. I feel like that's a smart way to handle things, but I also, at the same time, feel like that says a lot. Rather pick up dog do than deal with this person. Through this moment, things do get better. So if you can keep yourself away from the fallout, it is going to improve. There's another cycle coming through. It's a very roller coaster feeling to me. New information is coming forward. This person who's like overdoing it, information is coming to them that wouldn't normally come forward because of how difficult they're being. Because I feel like people are venting out some feelings that they normally wouldn't. And some other truthful situations are coming forward. What do you mean other truthful situations? Whatever the initial thing this person is mad about, other people are bringing forth other problems that they have with that person. So I do feel like it's kind of a crap show because I see more arguments coming forward. I don't think you have to be a part of this either. You don't have to be a part of this either. I would just keep doing the jobs nobody else wants to do, and you don't have to deal with that. And I keep feeling like I'd really rather do the dirty jobs than deal with this person or this mess. So just keep doing the dirty jobs, get things done. I feel like that helps you a lot easier, a lot better. You'll find out sooner or later, one way or another, what happened anyway, so it's not like you're going to be left out of the loop. I don't think you will be. Other people are having fits. You keep moving forward diligently, getting things done, things that need to get done. I feel like you're doing that. Like, this needs to get done. I'm going to do it. People leave me alone and keep me out of the stuff. I don't need the stress. I don't want the stress. And it's also one of those situations, like, even if I'm involved, I don't think it makes it better. I feel like you might be in that boat, kind of like, even if I'm in the middle of it, I don't think it improves anything. It just makes me feel like crap, and it doesn't help. So why do it? When the fallout is kind of at the end, I'm getting there's a lot of, like, fragmented pieces here. I feel like there's a lot here that I'm like, I don't understand how this all goes together. But I don't think I'm going to ask why it goes together. I might not even ask why, because I'm like, I've successfully stayed out of all this situation. I've got pieces of this and pieces of that. I feel like you're just kind of listening and not asking. I think that's a good idea, because there's so much pain going on here. And there's, like, people are upset, but I'm not. There's pieces missing. Part of me is kind of feeling like I don't want to ask questions because I feel like it's going to revitalize it, bring it back up to the forefront. I feel like it's going to re-energize the situation and keep it going, and I don't want to do that. It's not that you don't care, because you do care, but it's like, yeah, but I don't want to make this come back to life, and like, I don't want to add a couple more batteries to the situation and just get it going again. I don't want it to go any longer than it has to, so I'm just kind of letting it die down. I'm listening, and I'm being empathetic where I can be, but I'm being careful not to ask questions. Does that make sense? I feel like you're not asking questions, kind of like, I don't want to make this worse. It's bad enough as it is. I feel like there's like a break where they're like maybe a good week, maybe 1 or 2 weeks, at least 1, maybe 2 weeks. I feel like nobody's really talking, because I'm getting isolation here with the Ten of Pentacles. Like, nobody's talking to anybody, at least not about this subject. Like a good week, possibly 2. Like, people are just not dealing with each other. They're just like, okay, that's enough of that. I'm just staying out of it. The person who was kind of like going a little overboard seems to like have run out of steam, or just like they're off on their own. They don't want to be bothered. That might be more it. I don't know if they run out of steam. I feel like that's a little optimistic. They just don't want to be bothered. They don't want to be a part of it anymore. So they're just like, you people can go away. I don't want to deal with you anymore. Let other people start coming back together. Don't initiate anything. Just wait for it to come back in. because this is the roller coaster feeling. When it comes back in, everybody seems to be happy again. People are nice to each other again. We're not talking about that subject anymore. It's kind of like, no, we finished that book. We wrote the last chapter. We shut the book. We put it on the shelf, and we're just going to leave it there. We're going to leave it alone. And they're like, we can get along a lot better just leaving that book alone. We know it's there. We don't need to talk about it. Just leave it there and leave it alone. And people are getting along again. It's I don't know if things were really resolved. I really don't know. But I feel like it's kind of saying, when this starts happening, I don't feel like you need to be in the middle of it. It's going to pass, and when it passes, I feel like that's better for you. I don't think there's anything for you to fix here. I think that's maybe the bottom line. There's nothing here for you to fix. So letting other people deal with it the way they need to and letting it pass, and then when people start getting along again, just kind of re-adding in when people are getting along again, seems to be the best way to handle this. Otherwise, if you do get involved, I'm sorry, but I don't see it helping anything. And I feel like you just get dragged through the mud like everybody else, and you don't have to be. Why get dragged through the mud if you don't have to be? Especially if you do get dragged through the mud, it literally doesn't help anything. It just means you screwed up your outfit, and you have bumps and bruises you have to take care of, and it's going to take you a few weeks to heal. Didn't need to happen, so why do it? You know what I mean? Because I feel like there's more confusion than anything else. I don't see anything coming forward with answers. I feel like this one said this, that one said that, this one's mad at that one, and it's just kind of like it's all messed up and it's all tangled together. Even when you try to figure it out, people get mad at you for trying to figure it out. I have a sibling that's a Cancer, and I feel like they get the brunt of that sometimes. They try to help, they try to fix, and then they get the backlash for trying to do so, for trying to help. Don't need that either. So I would just let it be. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that's helpful. I think we're going to shut it down here. All right. Thank you for watching. I hope that helps. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you again for watching, and have a great day.